If you would like to see how I achieve this look and also love books and makeup combined together, literally, yes, that's me. Go ahead and stick around and see how I achieve this. And today we're going to be talking about Verity. Literally one of the best books ever.
I don't know. I really don't know nothing about it. I really don't know.
But then she ended up taking it. She ended up taking it and she ended up going to that man's house. Mistake number one. So today I'm going to be attempting to redo my Pinterest roulette. But we're also going to be talking about a book that I really liked. Liked so much the fact that I had to call out because I was reading up until 5 in the morning. And I had to be up by 6. Actually, I had to be up by 5 to get ready for work. Miss Reynolds, if you're seeing this, I love you, girl. I love you, girl, down bad. But I couldn't come into work that day. It was so good. Alright, but first, Pinterest roulette essentially is where I have 2 jars. One has left or right, the other has a number. And essentially what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down Pinterest, pick one, and then go and have it decide what I'm going to be doing on my face. And we're going to see if we can actually even do it. Okay? So yeah, let's go. I don't know about you, but Verity it was an emotional toll for me. At the end of the story, I was questioning myself if I was even sane, if I read the book properly. I was really questioning myself, girl, because what? It was so much going on. But first, anyways, look at my new thingy with Jigster. It's so pretty and it lights up. Look at it. And it changes. It has 3 settings. I think I'm gonna keep it on this one. Anyways, so first I'm gonna do my eyebrows because I like to do my eyebrows personally. But I'm gonna do that off camera and then I'm gonna come back and we'll keep talking. I'm gonna come back, we'll keep talking, I promise. So my eyebrows are done. Now I'm gonna pick my eye look and then we're gonna get into the beginnings of the story, cause girl. Okay, so this one is left or right, and so I'm gonna be on the right side. I'm gonna be, this is it. Let me tell you how this book starts off. This girl, you know, writer trying to make it by, you know, struggling, just trying to get her stuff out there, and yada 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 yada. It starts off pretty crazy, I'm not gonna lie to you. So in the beginning, her mom has, I think her mom had cancer, and then her mom was living with her, you know, and she was like struggling to pay rent and stuff like that. And I believe her mom had passed away. I have my notes. Essentially, the beginning of this story is crazy because she witnesses somebody getting murdered. It was a murder. It was a murder. It was an accident. It was a pretty bad accident. She is walking. She's on her way to, her agent is telling her like, hey, come over. Like, we have somebody who, you know, wants you to like finishing up a book for somebody. First of all, it was pretty gruesome. It was bad because the way that, one thing I like about Colleen, the way that she writes everything, it's absolutely mwah. But her other books I couldn't really get into, but Verity did it for me. In the first scene, she sees some bicycle accident and it's disturbing. And like, I don't know if this book would be considered like a romance or drama, girl, I don't know. Brain matter gets on her clothes. Yes, brain matter. Cause I guess she was that close to the accident, how it happened, right? And I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, okay. You know, this is kind of like gruesome. I have no idea what's going to continue. I have an idea, but you know, I'm not like crazy into my theories, would you say? And so she's kind of freaked out, she's stunned, she's shocked. When you're in shock, like, you don't know what to do. You're essentially kind of just like trying to, like, I don't know, like, she was just really stunned. Obviously I would be stunned. Like, you're walking to go do something and then you see somebody get literally killed, and then pieces of their brain or like their blood gets on you. I would be traumatized, okay? I would be very traumatized. And so now she's in the bathroom and she finds her way to a bathroom and she's trying to, you know, clean it off of her body, because you don't want to walk into this meeting and you got brain matter and like blood all over your white shirt at that. the setting of the story is already kind of like dark and like gruesome, and I'm like, ooh, we're starting off with a bang. Like that's kind of crazy. Not crazy. Like we don't want to like subtly get in there. We're just like, bam. I'm trying to see what she has on her face or on her eyes. Oh, I've had this for so long and I've never used it. So like, okay, yeah. She just finds herself in the bathroom and she's trying to get like freshened up, and then I guess a man walks in there, and you're in the bathroom and a man walks in the bathroom. Like, bruv, what are you doing? Like, this is, mind you, she walked into the men's bathroom. So, I mean, I guess. But still, it's gonna startle me. He essentially, like, gives her his jacket, and obviously the way that he's described, like, he's a good-looking man. He's a good-looking man, and you want to give me your jacket? Like, I'm gonna take it. For me, personally, if it's my boyfriend, yeah, I'm gonna take it. But so, when she first meets the male lead, Jeremy, that's who gives her the jacket. Jeremy gives her the jacket, and you know, she's like,
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
like, girl, stand up. Stand up. But she just experienced something traumatizing. So I give her grace a little bit. She's met this guy, they've established their relationship, and really it's no relationship. And so he gives her the shirt literally off of his back. And then he's just like, yeah, I'll just go find something else to wear. I'm like, you just want that girl to like you. Whenever they go their separate ways. They don't realize that they're gonna be in like the same area. And let me tell you this, her agent is her ex-boyfriend. Why are you still associated with your ex-boyfriend? Why, like, yeah, I get he's your agent. Girl, find another agent. Find another. It's agents all around. I found that a little word, but you know, hey, whatever floats your boat, not mine. Now they get into the building. I guess at the time, he hasn't walked in yet, or I can't remember if he was sitting down or he was like about to walk in. Now she has this oversized shirt. She's like, damn, like, all you people gonna think I'm like crazy because this is like obviously not my size shirt. They're in the meeting. They're about to talk, whatever. And you know, she sees the guy and they're talking about like the deal and everything, and it's like a really good deal, and she's like a struggling writer. So if you know that you're struggling and this opportunity comes up, you're gonna take it, especially with the money that he's asking. So essentially his wife was a writer, and something happened to where she was incapacitated and couldn't write anymore, and she was in a she was in a coma, but she was in a vegetative state where like her writings were able to be finished. I never said the name of the writer, honestly. Her name is Lowen. And so Lowen, she's about to take the offer. Her mom just died. She's like about to lose her apartment. Like this was like an opportunity. Like she was late on rent. They were about to kick Shorty out of the house. She's about to be homeless. And this opportunity arises and she can't pass it up. Because why would you, girl? You need the money. You need it. There was a little bit of back and forth, and she wasn't sure if like she wanted to do it. She was a fan of the wife's work, and she felt like it was an honor to finish the story up for her. She reluctantly accepts the offer. She didn't want to at first, and he offered her to stay at his house, at his really nice house, to finish up the story, to be able to read the manuscripts that the wife already wrote, and to be able to kind of like set herself in the scene of, put herself in the wife's mind so that she could finish like a 3-part series of that book, I believe it was. And so at first she was like,
I don't know. I really don't know nothing about it. I really don't know.
but then she ended up taking it. She ended up taking it, and she ended up going to that man's house. Mistake number 1. Whenever she went back to her house, like she was packing up her stuff, her ex had came over and was like trying to like talk her out of it. Obviously that man still wanted her back. Let's be so ferocious. Let's be so economically ferocious. Okay? He still wanted her. You didn't want her to take it, but like, first of all, you brought her to this man for a book deal, and you didn't like it once you saw them clicking. Jealousy? Much? Too much. He's trying to talk her out of it. She already signed the book deal. Like, she's going to this man's house regardless of what you want, regardless of what you think. And he gets a cut of the money too, so I don't know why he was tripping for. She's packing up her stuff, literally packing all her stuff in a car, And I think her expectation was her first check, because she was going to get paid before she even finished all the book deals, and then she was going to get paid after. That first check, she was going to use it to pay off some stuff, you know. And while she was waiting, she was like, I'm just going to stay there for a little bit until that first check comes, and then, you know, I'm going to dip from that man's house. Right. She ends up at his house. Obviously, this man is rich. So obviously his house is gonna be nice. She's shocked, but obviously as one would be shocked, because like obviously coming from like poverty, like you're not really used to that. I can understand her excitement, whatever. She was a little too excited for me though. Too much. A little too much, a little too much. And so she's getting herself situated. He tells her like, hey, you can stay in her master bedroom. I think he offered her to like stay upstairs, trying to be slick, whatever. You know, she said no, like, you know, trying to be modest or whatever. She stayed downstairs in the office. The way that it was explained was like a grand office, and all her manuscripts were like just sprawled out everywhere. I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna do this and I'll be back. Book conversation aside, I did this. Now I gotta. I don't know how it's gonna come out. I don't know what's gonna happen. Cause it looks good. But this time, I don't know. While he's giving her essentially like a tour of the house, they go upstairs and they're passing a room, and essentially it's Jeremy's wife's room. And she sees Jeremy's wife. Verity was in the room, in the bed, and then the nurse was taking care of her and stuff like that. And so she sees that, and then she just kind of like, you know, doesn't really inquire, wants to be respectful. Okay, cool, whatever. So she's getting herself set up, and then she gets herself set up into the room, and she's kind of like, and he shows her like, yeah, like this is like all of her stuff, like this is her notes, stuff like that. Like you can use it to kind of just get yourself in the headspace. She's starting to like read everything, and like that was where she kind of like, you know, like that's fine, like read what you're supposed to read. But she started reading, I guess it was like her diary. The diary was full of like some crazy stuff. Like if you read it, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like this girl's freaking psycho. So she's reading about it, and she's reading the manuscript so that she can prepare for writing her book. And she stumbles upon Verity's, I guess you would say, diary. Because in this, she's talking about like some crazy stuff. I'm just gonna say like everything that she read about. I'm not gonna go on my sequential. But she was reading how Verity met Jeremy, how Verity wasn't, you know, as in the same sector as Jeremy when they first met. They were in different kind of like living different kind of lives. So how she met Jeremy was, it was at like a bar or something, or like some event where it's like affluent individuals, and they went there and they were kind of like having, you know, their time, and she was feeling the scene, scoping for a man. And then that's how she meets Jeremy. And they kind of like kick it off, and they're kind of having like a good time. End up just like never leaving each other's side. As she's reading it, she's, you know, also having her encounters with Jeremy as well. And it's safe to say, like, she's falling for this man. She need to get up out of that house. Verity was deranged from what her books or her diary was saying. So she marries Jeremy, and her writing makes it seem like she's like so obsessed with Jeremy, like no one else can have him. And eventually she becomes pregnant. At first it was just her and Jeremy, and you know, she loved that she had Jeremy to herself. She didn't want anything to get in the way of that. And in her writings, she's expressing she's just upset. She would just let the baby cry. She wouldn't care to tend to the baby, and then she would get jealous whenever Jeremy would come home and just like go straight to the baby and wouldn't say hi to her, stuff like that. And I'm like, girl, now I'm reading this, I'm like, Verity, like this is not good. And eventually they get married. And they move into a house, because now Jeremy's like doing pretty well for himself and things like that. And then there's also a part in her diary where she talks about how, while she was a writer too, and so she's going to a dinner with her publicist, and her publicist is essentially telling her to get into the mind of her stories. Like, really put yourself in that thought, in that moment, whether it would be dark, but put yourself into that thought process to be able to be a better writer and write your stories like so much better. And Jeremy was there, but Jeremy wasn't listening. Make sure you peep that. Jeremy wasn't listening when he was telling her all this. Mind you, Verity is saying some like crazy stuff in her writings. She is saying some crazy stuff like you would think, right? And so I thunk Jeremy and Verity had a son, but they also had a daughter. Verity, Verity expressed how like she was just jealous of her daughter because essentially she wanted to be the only girl that Jeremy had eyes for, and now that they had a daughter, there's competition. Listen, Verity ain't like that. Verity did not like that at all. Like, while I'm reading this, I'm like, did Jeremy not pick up on these cues that this is how Verity felt about her own child? I'm like, did Jeremy not peep? I feel like as a husband, you should know these things. But then again, he was a businessman. He was really out. He wasn't home as much. Lauren's reading all these things, and she's forming her opinions about Verity. There will be times where she would like peep some like crazy stuff. There was like two instances where Verity was just like up and walking around. There was one where she was outside, and then the place where she was at outside was facing Verity's window. The window to her room was up there, and she was outside. In the back, there's like a lake in the back as well, and so she's outside, and then she looks up, and then she sees just Verity standing there, staring. Like, girl, what did you do in my house? Get out of my house. Leave my man. Now I'm gonna do my base. What side we're gonna be on? We're gonna be on the right. So I was look, and then oh, my shave. 7. But I'm like, this is like actually low-key kind of cute. I actually kind of like it. I'm kind of digging it. She's reading, like she's reading this book, or she's reading this woman's diary, and essentially, this woman like is psychotic. She's crazy. She hates her kids, and she's like, there's like a lot of suspense leading up to an incident that involved the passing of their child. Things kind of like escalate between Jeremy and Lauren, right? And there's a time where they get active. You feel me? And he falls asleep in the room. Mind you, his wife's upstairs. His wife is upstairs. Men. You know what? Let me not even say that. Jeremy. Why would you do that, Jeremy? If your name is Jeremy, shame on you. They're getting active, and then he falls asleep there. He doesn't want his kid to like see that he's being grown with somebody that's not his mama. Anyways, they wake up in the morning, and then he's trying to get out. Baby, the door's locked. You are locked in there. Locked up. He can't get out. They're panicking, and he doesn't want his son to see him in there with her. In her mind, she really thought it was Verity, right? She thought it was Verity, and then she tells him that, and she looks at him like,
"Girl, you're just crazy. That girl is literally in a vegetative state. I think, probably maybe my son came, or the maid locked the door, or something like that. But Verity, no, she's literally cannot be her."
But I just know she's ready to get to the part where like her daughter dies. Mind you, in Verity's writing, remember, her publicist told her, get into your protagonist's head and write as if you are the protagonist, so that she could like really get her writing like on par. Thinking back, I'm like, dang, like this could have all been avoided, child. And so mind you, while she's reading this, Jeremy knows nothing. Jeremy is none the wiser. His focus was always like making sure house was paid, his wife was good. He never like sat there and read wife stuff, right? He just wants the book to get done and blase blase blase. Whole time she's reading it, Jeremy doesn't know that like she's reading that. She starts feeling guilty. Like, girl, you was already not supposed to be doing that anyways, but here you are reading it, and then you're gonna express this, and it's because this could cause some stuff to go down. She's like shacking up with the guy. Obviously, I'm not telling this in order. Like, I stopped telling this in order. But she's like shacking up with the guy. I'm like, girl, you in this lady's house doing stuff you're not supposed to be doing. That's crazy. I guess tensions rise, and she tells him, like, the detail of the daughter's murder. The daughter died by drowning. It was a situation where I think she was out there with the kids on the lake, because remember they have a lake in their backyard. They were out there with the lake. She died. Like, the daughter died by drowning. And whenever they came to, like, it was just the mom that was like survived. It looks suspicious, I'm not gonna lie. It's real suspicious. So the daughter died. Again, like, she's jealous. In the autobiography, the manuscript that Lauren is reading, she's depressed. Like, now her husband is really stuck on this daughter that they lost, and she felt like he shouldn't have, essentially shouldn't have felt that bad about it. So now she's like, oh my gosh, like, does he know that, she kind of like off his daughter? So she tells him. She tells Jeremy, and the whole time, like, I'm thinking, I'm like, this book was getting, like, it was getting good. It was getting really good. And so that's why I stayed from work. I didn't stay from work to read, but I stayed from work because I had stayed up and I read so much. And as I'm reading the book, I don't know what was going through my mind. I just know, like, I was interested. I was interested. It was like, I don't know what about it. Like, it just really kept me going because I'm like, crap, like, what's gonna happen next? They go and confront her. How you gonna confront a lady that's comatose or in a vegetative state? I don't know what their thought process was, but there was a thought process. Don't know how good it was. She's like really playing into being in a vegetative state. And so she's really playing into it, and she's not responding, she's not doing nothing. Oh, mind you, okay, so there would be times where the son would talk about some, oh, like, mommy, like, I was playing with mommy and stuff like that, and yada 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 yada. And I guess, like, Jeremy didn't believe him because, he's probably thinking, oh, his son, like, misses his mom, and, like, that's the whole thing, and that's, like, the reason why. No, you should probably listen to your kids. Like, they're not entirely crazy. So they confront her, and she's lying in, like, she's in a vegetative state. She's not moving, and mind you, that's like some real control that she must have to, like, not move and, like, not do none of that. I'm like, girl, how you do that? I, like, sometimes I'll try to, like, trick my boyfriend and pretend like I'm sleeping. I always end up giggling. I was end up like, and, like, I can't, or, like, smiling because, like, it's so bad. Eventually, he ends up choking her out. I don't know how else to say it. He ends up choking her out, and, like, she dies. Lauren, girl, if this man could choke this lady out, what you think he better do to you? Make a pact. They're just like, we're gonna say that she died by asphyxiation. Or I can't remember what the excuse was. But essentially, they were just gonna say, like, oh, she died by, like, her saliva or something. I'm like, that's crazy. I don't think that's crazy. I thought that was crazy. Lauren and Jeremy, they ended up together. She ended up pregnant. He wanted to sell the house, so he had to come back. Like, they were gone for a little while because she was like a couple months pregnant. They were coming back, and they were cleaning up the house so that he could sell it. As Lauren is cleaning Verity's room, she spots something sorry, like, my makeup looks good. Oh gosh, it's looking so good. Anyways, as Lauren is cleaning up Verity's room, she spots, like, I can't remember if it was like a box with a letter, but there was a letter. There was a letter. Verity, like, confessed. Like, essentially she's saying in the letter that none of it was true. She had to get into the headspace of, like, her writer told her the headspace of her protagonist. Mind you, I feel like she stretched it too far. Like, she took it too far. Like, girl, if you know you can walk and you can move, please get up and walk. Okay? This could have been completely avoided. And then she explains how the death of her daughter was, like, genuinely an accident, but she was been made to feel like it wasn't. So she kind of, like, accepted that. She also discloses how essentially Jeremy, like she was in a bad car accident and that's what caused her to be in the vegetative state. And how Jeremy was the cause of that. Like he intentionally crashed the car so that she could die. And she didn't die, so that man did that. Okay. And she was saying how, you know, at times like her son would come and play with her, but she always made him promise to like not tell anybody that he was talking about me. I don't know why I keep doing that, but essentially to promise to tell people like he wasn't talking to mommy and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's like crazy. Okay, so Lauren is reading that letter. Let me tell you what this girl did. This girl took the letter and ripped it up and threw it away. At the time Jeremy came in, like I was like, oh, what happened? And she's like,
Nothing, just don't do that way.
I'm like, girl, my whole thing was Verity. If you knew, one, you did not kill your baby, like please defend yourself on that. Like there was no need for you to take the guilt and take the blame. Like I understand she probably felt guilty. She probably felt guilty about it, but at the same time, like accidents happen. You are allowed to grieve your child. Then two, I just feel like Lauren was just so dumb. Because why would you take the letter and rip it up like that? Why would you do that? Jeremy got his issues too. The whole reason I was questioning myself throughout reading the entire book or like reading the end was because Verity, if you know, again, Verity on call, man. If you know you didn't do that, like, come on, like, I can't. You should be able to defend yourself, like, especially if like, girl, come on. I'm just at a loss for words. It was just, but I will say it was a really great book. Suspense was there. The suspense was suspensing. Honestly, I feel like everybody was wrong. Everybody was wrong because there was legitimately, Verity could have defended herself. And if you, girl, I'm still stuck on, like, if you know you could walk, if you knew you could walk and you knew you could, like, do all this and you knew, like, you were capable, like, why weren't you doing anything? Why weren't you doing anything? Like, I get, like, the guilt. It was just, like, trying to explain it. It was just crazy to me. Verity was, like, a really good book. And I like that it wasn't super long. I personally didn't think it was super long. But, like, some people might be like, oh my gosh, it took forever to finish. Maybe if you are into the book, it's not going to take that long. And honestly, I don't know if I covered everything, but I feel like I got a good amount of stuff that I talked about in terms of like the book. Honestly, you went into this man's house. You don't even know this man. Like, why? You know what I mean? And so I feel like she herself was like really shady. Like, she was messy. She was a messy girl. I'm still stuck on your publicist. Like, you're still with your publicist. Her publicist also sounded like a douche. Like, her ex, he sounded like a douche too. I'm like, what do you, please get out my face. Move. Expeditiously. Ow. I'm not gonna do like a deep analysis. Like, I just like the book. And I just wanted to talk about it while I do makeup. Now I feel like I have nothing else to talk about. Oh. And then finally, choose my lip combo. Right, we're just gonna say that's love. 13. You see? ¿Tú sabes? ¿Tú ver? ¿Tú es ver? Yeah, number 13. Let's look for a lip combo. But first, let me bake. So chaotic. So this is the lip combo I got. What it means. Well, guys, that is everything. The look. It eats. I think I ate a little bit. I think I made a little nibble. Anyways. But this is the final look. Thank you for staying. Thank you for listening to me ramble. I'm probably going to try and structure my videos a lot better. Literally, that idea came off the dome. I wasn't supposed to talk or anything, but I was like, you know what, like let me engage in my babies. But now we have come to the end of the video. We must part our ways, but fret not, I will be back again with another book review. Next week I think I want to do The Silent Patient. That one was like, it was really good too. And then I have a few more. I love Frida McFadden. Love her down. So I might review her book next too. So she also has The Housemaid. The Housemaid has like 3 parts. Oh well, yeah, The Housemaid is a 3-part series and I absolutely love it. It's so good. I read all 3. And it had me so good. It was so good, so good. But definitely don't forget to follow me on all socials. Instagram at I am Ruth Lewis, TikTok at I am Ruth Lewis. If you're already here, go ahead and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you. See you guys next time.